What the f do you call this? That's me in court, right? In jail.
Well, I understand your position.
See, this is what, here's the garbage of what you're trying to tell me right now. The funny part is nobody told me once that these things were live streamed on YouTube. I already knew that. I've captured all of them. I guarantee nobody else really wants to continue seeing me.
Alright guys, this sovereign citizen just went completely off the rails in court the other day, and now he's facing a trespassing charge and skipping out on court. I honestly feel bad for his attorney because this dude is out here being insanely disrespectful. He's mocking the court and he's just acting like he's the one in charge here. This guy is the definition of a sovereign citizen, thinking he can just ignore the law and make up his own rules. I mean, the way he's talking to the judge is just insane. I mean, you can practically feel the meltdown coming in this one. He's about to learn the hard way that the court does not play around when it comes to this stuff. This one's gonna be a disaster, and you are gonna want to see it all go down here. Let's go ahead and dive in and watch this sovereign citizen completely melt down in court.
Mr. Who? No.
Parcel?
No. Mr. Christopher.
Sure. Understood. Mr. Husky, I'm sorry, Mr. Christopher, Mr.
Why would I do that?
I should use your contact information.
I'm not interested in being in contact with you.
Oh, okay. Well,
Nor do you represent me. I'm gonna make that very clear right now.
understood. Just to,
And then don't speak when the case is called.
I'll leave that to you. As far as the county is concerned, I've been appointed to represent you.
For what?
In the criminal trespass and obstruction charge.
Oh, because that's the first time that's ever been mentioned in open court
Okay,
with me present.
okay, that should have been made, you should have been made aware, well, I guess,
Yeah, there should have been like an arraignment.
well, and that's pending. There's another procedure that's been started that we need to get through first. If you want to step out, we can talk about it.
No, thank you.
We don't have to. So that's kind of where we're at today.
Yeah, I know where we're at today. I've
Understood.
been doing this almost 500 days, man.
Understood. I guess part of the reason I like to contact you is because you get through this next phase.
It's not gonna happen. That's the whole point of this. That's why it's taken so long. You guys did a 1077 without me present, without me even being heard.
Sure.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
It's a procedure that doesn't require your presence. Now, whether you agree with it or not, I understand, but that's the situation. Situation in order to-
Here's a little reminder of like what a court can do and cannot do.
Well, according to Washington state law currently, the court's able to do this without.
Oh, really?
And in order to get past this step, I need to be able to coordinate with the people that are gonna talk to you and yourself so that we can get that set up to do it. If you want to move on, then we have to get through that step. I understand that you maybe don't want to or agree with it.
See, this is what, here's the garbage of what you're trying to tell me right now. Literally 1 year, 3 weeks, and 1 day ago, when I was in courtroom 3 with Samuel Meyer, he's the one who actually gave anything substantive in this case to me, as far as information is concerned.
Well, if
And
you
what
want to talk
he
to us,
said,
how are we supposed to do
hold
that?
on. What he said was at any time, the 1077 can be withdrawn.
Well, I can't withdraw it if you won't talk to me.
I've talked to everybody. Why would I continue talking to you guys? You guys are going to be a future defendant.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the word he was going for was withdrew, not withdraw. Classic sovereign citizen moment here. I mean, these dudes just love throwing around legal words they clearly just learned 5 minutes ago on YouTube. And honestly, judging by the way he's talking to his attorney right now, I would honestly put money on him losing this case in spectacular fashion. Like, I'm talking full-blown courtroom crash and burn, because you could just tell his last 2 brain cells are out here fighting for their lives, and they're obviously both losing. You can literally see the attorney questioning every life decision that led him to represent this guy. He's probably already mentally rehearsing his "I quit" speech. I just can't wait for the judge to get back in the courtroom and completely dismantle this nonsense.
I've made that really clear. Samuel Meyer has everything that he needs from me. And here's the biggest problem. Tell me what the 1077 is about. Is it about allegedly I didn't want to go to court or I didn't want to talk to anybody? What the do you call this? That's me in court, right? In jail.
Well, I understand your position on that. Just like being new to the case, I'm not privy to that.
Well, now you're hearing it.
So I've basically got two options here. I mean, either I can give you, well, I could give, if you'll provide me with your contact information, I can give that to
You guys already have it? Nobody's giving me a letter. Nobody's doing nothing.
Okay, but I've seen like situations where you've refused to receive the mail.
Who said that I refused to receive mail?
That's just my-
Mr. White, I just want to remind you that this is not confidential. Everybody can hear this. I just want to remind you. Okay.
And that's, I asked him if he wanted to step out and talk and at any rate, if nothing else, I can facilitate communication between you and the people that are supposed to do that. But I don't have to necessarily do anything else, but we have to get past that phase in order to move forward on your case.
I want it withdrawn and I want to proceed on my own without an attorney.
Okay, well then you and I will have to talk because I'm the one who has to.
So
request
let's
it.
see here. Let's name all the alleged attorneys that have been part of this case that I have spoken to personally. We got Stillwell, we got Kale, we got Lesh.
Okay, and again, I'm not privy to that. I don't have any of that information.
Mhm.
And if you want me to request to withdraw that, then I need to talk to you about it. And if you don't want to talk to me, then I don't really have a choice.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just gonna ask that volume and behavior is acceptable at what court has going on. And
Okay.
At some time, if you become disruptive, we're gonna have to ask you to leave. So
I get it.
I'd like you to be as efficient as you can. and
I
get as
get
much
it.
done as
Trust me, I
possible.
don't want you dragging me away when I
No,
got
nobody
cane, man.
drag you away,
It's gonna
right?
hurt. It's gonna
Once the
hurt.
judge is in here, he might ask.
No,
me
no,
to
no.
leave.
Me and Paul, we know each other.
Okay. all
I've
right.
been doing this a really long time with him. That's,
All right.
you know,
I'm just checking in on. just letting
okay.
you
No,
know.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your appropriate behavior as well.
Okay. Absolutely, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
So basically, it's just that if you want me to also withdraw the request, then I have to really talk to them. Find out what the reason the request was submitted for, and then make a decision based on that. Now, when you represent yourself, it's not necessarily grounds for that request, but yeah, I don't know what was requested.
Neither do I. I just hear alleged.
And that's what I'm saying, like, unless we talk, I don't have the information I need to move forward.
For the record, Isaac, me, him. That's a hearing,
No,
Okay.
I understand.
but it's not on the record. It happened November 13th. It's not on the record.
Have you submitted any public records requests for the audio of the hearings?
I already have them, man.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. The funny part is nobody told me once that these things were live streamed on YouTube. I already knew that. I've captured all of them.
Well,
Every single hearing I've captured from YouTube.
so that's one of the things that we should probably talk about outside of court. So again, offering to step out and speak with you if you want. Or even just step back into the back corner and speak, but we'll lower the volume sound.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. Everything that you want to have a conversation with me about can be right here.
Well, I mean, part of my role is to inform you as to your rights and help you protect them, so.
Well, you'd be the first.
So basically, this clown is out here claiming that every attorney who's ever tried to help him was secretly working against him and refusing to protect his rights. Like, bro, really? You think that there's some grand legal conspiracy specifically targeting you? Like, out of all people, why would we target this goofy clown? I mean, this dude is just so full of it, and he knows it. It's just the typical victim-minded sovereign citizen who can't win at life, So they convince themselves that the entire system is rigged against them. It is never their fault. It's always some evil attorney or a corrupt judge. Honestly, these people need to be studied in a lab or something because they might just be the dumbest species of humans walking the planet. I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks gravity is a government scam too. It's just, I think it's the level of delusion here, and I just can't get over how impressive it is, really. I mean, I know I hate on these guys a lot, but I gotta give it to them. It is a different level of stupidity here.
What was that date when you said?
Hmm?
The date of the hearing, you said wasn't.
The one that happened in custody was November 13th, 2023.
Well, it's written down in the record. I don't know.
Really? They changed it, huh?
You said it was November.
13th, not 30th. 30th did happen. I was there for that. That was the first out of custody hearing that I had.
Well, if you want, we can talk about that more. But if you don't, that's fine too.
I think what we can settle on is asking for a separate hearing.
And that's fine. We'll do
Okay.
that.
But just remember, this isn't a matter of you representing me. This is a matter of me trying to cooperate in terms of like
Well-
work with the court and everybody to get this resolved.
Well, and
I guarantee nobody else really wants to continue seeing me. And it doesn't matter like what happens at or after a trial. Like
so
we can get this done.
So here's the thing. Again, as far as the county is concerned, I've been appointed to represent you.
That's
So if I say it that way, I'm not necessarily saying that you're accepting the
I
representation.
understand that.
That's just me trying to clarify the record
Yeah,
as to what my role is at this point.
yeah, I get that.
And then if at some point you want to represent yourself and the court finds that you're able to do so, then they'll allow you to do that. If you want standby counsel, you can have an attorney appointed
Mhm.
to assist you with interpreting the law
Mhm.
and maybe preparing your case.
Mhm.
You don't necessarily have to work with that attorney, but that attorney is basically provided to answer any legal questions that you might have. And you probably have plenty of information on that at this point as well. So we'll just ask for that hearing and move forward from there.
Please. Okay, Mr. White.
I guess we'll start here with Mr. Christopher. As he's listed on the docket as Mr. Christopher Hartzell.
Mhm.
I have been appointed by the county to represent Mr. Christopher, although he has expressed that he does not want representation. He has a pending 1077. He's been advised by the court that that can be requested to be withdrawn at any time. And he would like to request to do that. However, that might take a little more time than we have on today's docket. So we're asking just to set a hearing where he can address that. And that's my case and Mr. Holcomb's case and Mr. Christopher's case to address. I suspect, how much time do you think you'll need, Mr. Christopher? Half an hour? Less?
For a hearing?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure a half hour would be fine.
So if the court has a half an hour that we could set that for, I suppose at the court's convenience, obviously as soon as possible.
Well, okay, we still don't have the competency assessment.
We
Yeah.
don't, Your Honor, and that's kind of the situation.
Right,
is that, if Mr. Christopher doesn't want to communicate with me or the hospital, and he wants to represent himself.
Yeah, we
we're kind of
had
in a bit of
this,
an impasse.
we had this discussion already and a ruling on it. And the ruling was that we're not going to make any determination about self-representation until after competency is determined. We had the whole discussion previously,
Mhm.
and nothing's changed. We're not going to revisit
I
that.
still object to it.
That's fine. You don't have to keep saying it either. You objected one time and that preserves it forever.
Cool.
So keep in mind that if you said it once, it's been recorded and you don't have to keep saying it.
Excellent.
Could we possibly set a hearing then just to address how to move forward?
We're going to set a hearing to determine competency, which we have, that is a threshold issue that we have to do. A person who's not competent to proceed cannot represent themselves either. So we're going to determine that first, and then after, and I've explained this to Mr. Christopher, after we've determined, assuming that we determine he's able to proceed, then we'll proceed with the potential of self-representation.
I don't know about you guys, but this dude is just screaming not competent. Like, if he actually ends up representing himself, it is going to be a full-blown train wreck. But honestly, this whole case makes me wonder personally, like, why do sovereign citizens always think they can win by representing themselves? Like, bro, If you're so confident, go ahead and do your thing, but let's just be real, you clearly have no clue what you're talking about. I mean, half the time, they're just throwing around random legal jargon they read on some sketchy Facebook group, hoping it sticks. It's honestly like watching somebody try to beat a chess grandmaster with nothing but vibes and confidence. It's honestly just pure comedy.
But all of those advisements and that have to occur and the understandings that the court has to find in order for a person to be able to represent themselves can't be done until competency has been determined. So I just want everybody to keep that in mind, that will be the procedure, and we're not going to revisit that over and over again. So we've got to get to the point of the competency determination first.
I have one question for the court. What exactly is the 1077 over?
Couple of months. Yeah. I'm sorry, what was that question?
What exactly is the 1077 order about? Why was the order, sent off to Western State Hospital?
Well, generally what it's about
Mhm,
is it's an order from the court
mhm,
to conduct an examination, in this case of you,
mhm.
to determine whether you are able to proceed in this case.
So why?
Because there's been serious doubt raised by the attorneys interacting with you that you may not be able to do that. And it would be a violation of your rights to proceed with a criminal case against you if you were not competent to proceed with the case.
And what is being alleged
About the crime that's alleged?
Sure, yeah, we'll
Or-
start with that.
Well, the crimes that are alleged are trespass in the first degree and obstructing a law enforcement officer.
Okay, that's the first time that's been said in open court, other than Samuel Myers saying trespass. I heard Samuel Myers say trespass, so obstruction.
That's still one of the charges.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what is it exactly that they're having doubts about competency? Like what are they alleging? Because what I heard from Samuel Meyer is that somebody has alleged that I didn't want to talk to anybody and that I didn't want to come to court.
Well, that may have figured into it. I don't
What do you call this? I went to court.
I'm glad you did. Yeah, I know you were here previously because we've talked about this. Okay, so what we're gonna do is.
Yeah, we talked about this while I was in custody.
We're gonna get that evaluation completed, and we'll reconvene on that issue on May 16th at 9 o'clock.
So I don't know if there's if anything changes, feel free to give me a call. Because I don't have to advise you, but we can have a conversation.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
All right, you're good to go, Mr. Christopher.
May 16th, guys. It is going to be such a fun watch, and I'll be covering that, guys. I mean, this dude clearly doesn't stand a chance, and honestly, I personally believe he is a sovereign citizen, just based on his demeanor and the way he's talking to the court. It's literally screaming sovereign citizen. But let me know if you guys disagree with me, because honestly, he was kind of being talkative with the attorney, so we usually don't see that kind of vibe with these sovereign citizens. Usually the sovereign citizens try to argue every little detail and completely ignore basic legal principles. I mean, speaking of that, let's hit a quick law fact here. If you're representing yourself, the judge is under no obligation to give you advice or help you out. They will let you crash and burn if you're not prepared, and from what we're seeing here, this guy is clearly not ready. But seriously, this whole thing is about to be a train wreck, like I've said, and I just can't wait to see how it all plays out. Sovereign citizens like this dude really think they're gonna just try to outsmart the law, but it's like trying to take on a lawyer with a toy hammer. It just does not work that way. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on this one, and I know you all are too. I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, if you agree with the sovereign citizen or not. Stay tuned for my future uploads, and take care, guys.